Hey guys, I'm Sarah. Every week I comb through hundreds of DIY videos preparing projects for our weekly Maker Show Make or Break. Along the way, I find some good projects and some great ones, and right now I'm going to share them with you. This is Sarah's Top 5 DIY Coffee Tables. Alright, let's get started with number 5. Zach of All Trades built this beautiful rustic coffee table with some added storage inside, perfect for anyone living in a smaller space. He originally was going to make this out of recycled pallet wood, but was having some issues with disassembling it without destroying the wood itself. So he spent $27 on cedar fencing and got to work. After cutting all of his pieces to length, he made the legs, the bottom of the storage bin, and the pattern for the lid. Completely unrelated, he should burn his shop to the ground because of the size of the spider that ran across his workbench. Okay, well, just kidding. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. Anyway, he finished assembly with some help from his kiddo, added the hinges, and cut the excess hangover off the lid, and this coffee table was complete. Number 4 is Mike from Industrial Maker with his concrete live edge river table. Mike built a concrete coffee table with a live edge inlay using a piece of mahogany. Now, he knew he wanted to use this wood as an inlay, but he wasn't quite sure how until he got started, and then he changed his mind along the way, which is something I can totally relate to. Instead of just having the mahogany inlay in the concrete, he decided to cut a miter wedge, making the wood waterfall down the side. And I really think his decision made this a way more attractive piece of art that I would love to have in my own home. Number 3 is Modern Builds with a no-weld metal coffee table. Mike decided it was time for a metal-based table, but he wanted to complete this project without welding a single piece. So he found square aluminum tubing and square dowel rods that fit perfectly inside, which reinforces the tubing for a much stronger base. Using the wooden dowels inside the tubing, he was able to screw the base together without needing to weld anything. After he spray painted the base black, it was time for the tabletop. For this, his material of choice was several pine 1x4s. He cut the boards in half and planed them down before he glued them all together. He ended up doing the top in 2 pieces so that he could fit them through his planer. But if you don't have a planer, you can glue it all up at once and just use a sander to get it smooth once it's dry. Mike finished up assembly and made sure to run it through a strength test. And it looked like it passed. Number 2 is one of my favorite makers, Sam the DIY Huntress. She always has a way to make projects that seem out of reach, really approachable, and not so terrifying. I don't know how she does it, but I appreciate it. Her coffee table build is the perfect project for anyone who wants to attempt a big resin pour and use live edge slabs, even if you have little space and limited tools. Using only handheld power tools, Sam prepped the mold, set the slabs in place, and made sure that the entire project was laying level before she poured the resin. After it had set, she did have to really work to remove the excess resin that snuck underneath that wood, but after she cleaned it up, trimmed the table to final size, she added the finish and attached the legs, and this thing turned out absolutely amazing. Finally, the practical engineer takes the number 1 spot with his steel and recycled wood coffee table. Emil started off his project by welding the steel leg frames. He made sure only to tack the bottom of the legs so that he could take them apart later to fit them through the wood. For the top itself, he decided to repurpose an old wooden table that needed so much love and sanding. Once he removed all of the old finish, he cut it down to the size he wanted, roughed up the edges a bit using a grinder, giving this piece a lot of character. Next was cutting the holes for the steel legs. After he got the steel base and wooden top fitting together nicely, he welded the legs together and added brackets for the table to rest on. All that was left was to paint the metal legs, and this was done. This looks so cool. Well done, Emil. Alright guys, do me a favor and like this video, and if you have not already subscribed to Belts and Boxes, please do that now and hit the bell so you don't miss any of our videos that come out during the week. We'll see you then.